Good morning, Michael Walsh here, Norwal Farm. It's the day after Christmas and really mild weather, as you can see behind me. Most of our snow is gone. We're taking delivery of a hay rack today, or a couple hay racks, and going to a different style, so that's what today's video is about. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, ring the notification bell, and hit the like button. That helps our channel. Also, if you would please, leave us a comment and share this video with a friend. We're waiting for the delivery service to drop the hay rack off, and then we'll get started. Well, they made the delivery, and it was actually pretty easy. Just take the loader, and he had a lift gate. We just put the loader up there and then slid it right off onto the loader. So now we'll take it back to the barn and we'll put that together this afternoon. I bought different feeders. These are, I think, 2 years old. And they've worked fairly well, except what I don't like is when they pull the baleage of the hay out, they waste a lot. And so I'm hoping they'll see these new feeders. They can actually stick their head in and through and just root down in, and they don't have to pull anything out. So it'll be easier for them to eat, and hopefully there's less wastage. I have a farmer who is going to buy a couple of these used feeders from me. She needs them, and I think it'll work well for what she needs. So we'll get this unpacked and get it together. I got to take this one down first. I've ordered 2 feeders. There's 2. These panels are 8 feet long. There's 2 of those. And there's 8 of those that are 4 feet long. And then they have those drop-in pins right here. And those drop into these holes. Nice thing about this is that you can actually clip it through wire, put one end up against the wire, and I think that's what I'll do in here. I don't think I need that much space. And then I'm going to take one of these, a 4-foot one, down to the other shed where the breeding ewes are, and I'm going to use one of that for those. And I think this will work better. It has an open slot here. You can see in between there, that's an open slot. And I specifically got that instead of one that has bars because if you have horned sheep or goats, they wouldn't be able to stick their head in or get it back out. So I'm anxious to see how this is going to work, and it should be pretty easy to set up. Nice size feeder here, very easy to set up. And we'll get some baleage in there and see how they like it. What I like about this is they can get their head in there and they can just take nice big mouthfuls of it, whereas before they would pull it through the feeder, and then that's when they would lose a lot. I think overall it will be less wastage. It's much easier for them to eat. Before I had to shred the hay up a little bit so it would pull through those bars. Don't have to do it in here. Maybe not quite as much bunk space, it's close, but once they have their fill, they just kind of take turns eating. They were out of baleage this morning. This will hold more feed than the V-rack did, so I'll be able to keep it stocked up. But so far, I like what I see. One of the Jacobs stuck her head in there. She has horns, so that worked pretty good. They've got a little bit pulled out here, but they might, pull a little bit out and waste, but the leaves that drop along the side, they will go along and eat that up too. They clean it up pretty good. So all in all, I'm very pleased with it. Very easy to set up. I'm going to set that other one up down at the other barn. Really pleased. You can see that ewe there. She took a pretty good sized mouthful, the one closest to us here. And she just ate the whole thing. Used to be they'd pull it out through those bars, and there'd be long stems on it, and they'd chew it off and they'd drop on the ground. The ewe next to her's got a nice big mouthful. And as they chew the corner, that will drop off. But that's really good feed. And drops back in the hay feeder, and they'll eat it. See there, she just spit it out. But it's still in the hay feeder now. See, she pulled hers out. And that's going to drop on the ground. And that's where I have this too close. What I need to do is stack the hay right down the center so that when they reach in, they don't back out. And when they pull it out, that will drop in front of them. So next time I feed them, that's a correction I'll make. The ewes can eat faster. These three and this one over here have eaten, they're full, and they're laying down already. So far, just really pleased with this hay feeder. It's been an hour since I've put this up, and when I came back up from the other shed, they were actually all laying down. They were full. So I just cleaned up what little bit of hay they had pulled out around the feeder, but what I like is they're eating it down just inside where they're sticking their heads through. And then as they reach into the center, they pull it back towards them, and they're not pulling it out. So a couple things I like about this so far is that they can eat their fill sooner. They don't have to work so hard to eat. And I think in the long term, they're not going to waste nearly as much hay. It was easy to stack on the loader for transport. These just slid right on there, and the bars are there. So we'll take this down to the run-in shed down there and get it set up. Just set up this new feeder and put some hay in there. I like that it holds more hay than the other one. You could comfortably get 12 or 16 around that. There's 4 on this side. Now these ewes, most of them were shorn late September, early October, because they had the October lamb. So they're not in full fleece. So when they're in full fleece, it would probably hold 3 on a side, which gives you 12. And that's about what you could get at that other feeder. So capacity-wise for eating, I think this is good. So we'll see how this works, but so far I'm very impressed with it. If you look at this feeder over here, that's what they had to do. They pull it out, pick through what's sticking out, and don't eat it as well. Whereas this way, they can get a nice big mouthful and hopefully waste less of it. We'll find out. I'm cautiously optimistic. I like the way these are working so far. So that'll be it for today. Thanks again for joining us at Norwal Farm, and have a great day. See you next time.